Boys, it is time for another tier list video. In this one, we're going to be ranking the worst physique traits all the way from it is absolutely over, bro, to shit that is honestly pretty cope and it's honestly an easy fix to improve your attractiveness. And we're going to jump straight into it right away with the first physique feature, and that is having narrow clavicles. If you have narrow clavicles, this is going to make your whole entire frame look smaller. You're not going to be able to have that big masculine aesthetic broad build, which we often want or need to become the most attractive that we can be. However, just because your bones are limited like this, I know a lot of guys who've been able to actually fix this or resolve this by just training your lats and training side delts. So if you can get that width through training your muscles and trying to negate the fact that you have smaller bones, you might still be able to get a wide frame. It just comes down to having to build a lot of muscle. So I'm going to say it is a big nerf, but you can still get around it. Next, we have kyphosis, or like hunchback posture. So this is often caused by like using your phone too much or just having shit habits throughout the day. I'm going to say that this is also going to be a big nerf, because when you actually have this, what I've found myself is I have a bit of it from playing video games like a fucking slouchback all my life. You'll actually have a harder time engaging your muscles like your chest because everything is rounded forward and it's tight. So if you're already contracted, when you try and contract your chest, it's actually harder and you're going to get more compensation through the shoulder. You're going to get injuries easier. It is just pretty fucked. And from an aesthetics and attraction standpoint, when you have this nerd neck, tech neck posture, you actually find that you kind of stand shorter as well. So you're not as tall. So again, this is taking away from your attractiveness, but it is still fixable through posture exercises and strengthening your muscles inside of the gym. Next, we have wide hips. This is going to be pretty brutal. If you have wide hips, then it's going to, again, just like the narrow clavicles, throw out the whole symmetry and the whole proportions of your physique. We know that to be aesthetic and to be attractive, we want to have a physique that is built like an upside down triangle if you're a man. This is the most attractive physique type to women, and if you have wide hips, it's going to make it harder to achieve this because you're already starting more like a rectangle, and in the worst case, you're built like an actual triangle instead because your hips are wider than your shoulder region. You can see here from the example, it is literally almost a 1-to-1 ratio. We want it to be a 1 to 1.6x ratio for the most aesthetics and attractiveness. So if you have this, it is going to be very hard to fix because it is literally your bone structure. The only way you're going to be able to fix this is probably by surgery or by maximizing your V-taper through muscle development, like I said, the lats and the side delts. The next one we have right here, I don't even know what the fuck this is. This is bow legs. Bro, this is absolutely fucking brutal. That's going in the brutal category. The reason why it is not absolutely, actually, no. Bro, that's absolutely over. If you have these bow legs, obviously this is an exaggeration, but if you have bow legs, it is just going to make the whole physique look terrible, especially if you wear shorts. The only way you're going to be able to resolve this, bro, unfortunately, is by wearing pants and by covering it up. But if you have this level of bow legs, this is definitely some like physical abnormality, some birth defect, which is very unfortunate. But again, I'm just being a realist here and showing you what actually will affect your physique and what will affect your attractiveness. Thankfully, a lot of the times you could get away with this by wearing long pants, like I said, but if you have this, I would definitely recommend getting some type of surgery. Now, realistically, most guys are not going to have this level of bow legs, but if you do have some form, it will take away aesthetics, and it's likely caused by some postural issues at the feet and stuff like that, which again can feed into postural issues, make you look less attractive overall because you'll be standing shorter. You'll have asymmetries in your posture, in your movement patterns. You probably can't train legs properly. Not that you fucking do anyway, but I'm going to say that if you have this and you're exposed in shorts, it's going to absolutely kill your physique. It is definitely over, bro. Next, we have skinny wrists and honestly skinny ankles as well. This one is pretty shit, and a lot of guys who start the gym, like myself included, were starting off skinny, and they did worry about this a lot. This was one of my big insecurities, having skinny ankles and skinny wrists, but it is actually not that bad. I'm going to say it's an easy fix. And the reason I'm saying this is because you can actually look way more aesthetic if you have these. Because if you can build muscle around these regions, or if you can build a strong big frame, your skinny wrists and skinny ankles kind of just get neglected. They kind of don't seem visible anymore because you have this crazy contrast between skinny and looking big everywhere else. So it kind of masks it, and that's what happened to me as well. I used to be very insecure about having like skinny wrists, skinny ankles, but it doesn't matter because I have longer muscle insertions, so I built muscle on top of them, and then it looks fine in the end. So this is an easy fix. It just takes a bit of work in the gym. So if you have it right now, do not be, insecure. It is fine. It is nothing like some of the other shit that you could have had in this list. Next thing we have here is gonna be rib flare. This is absolutely fucking brutal, okay? I started off with rib flare. Again, this was one of my huge insecurities when I started the gym. It's what I wanted to fix. Rib flare is basically where your ribs pop out and they sit up like this. So it kind of looks like you have a fucking ski slope on your fucking chest, right? They don't sit flush. Your abs don't sit nice and tight and compact, and they're not really visible at all. You have this like weird asymmetrical rib flare, and a lot of guys have it more so on one side, just like I did, and it absolutely fucking cooks your physique. You will have troubles engaging your chest, you'll have troubles engaging your back. If you have this yourself, you have probably noticed that you have trouble engaging muscles, and you probably have some form of joint pain as well. And that is because when your rib cage is not in the correct position, when it's not stacked over your pelvis, you get all sorts of fucked up mobility restrictions. So it's honestly a pretty brutal nerf, if I'm being honest, if you're trying to build the aesthetic physique. If you're a skinny guy, you're going to notice this way more, and that's when it becomes totally brutal because your ribs will be sticking out even more. But if you have muscle, if you start to build your chest, shoulders, everything around it to offset the visual appearance of this and make it look less visible, then you'll be pretty much fine, okay? And if you can engage your abs properly, you will be able to flatten it and look way better overall. Next, we have gynecomastia. Gynecomastia is basically when you have man boobs. It's basically when your testosterone and your estrogen and your genetics and hormones are all out of balance, they're all fucked up. And what happens is you start to develop breast mass. You literally start to develop titties, okay? This is absolutely over. I know so many guys who have so much insecurity around this. They will be in good shape. I've got friends who actually have good, decent physiques, but they're too scared to take off their shirt simply because they have gyno. No guy wants to look like they have fucking tits. No guy wants to have these puffy, enlarged breasts. And in the modern day and age, more guys are getting them simply because of the environmental factors, the poor lifestyle, the shit food is all contributing to gyno. So chances are you might actually have gyno yourself. How do we fix it? Well, you fix it by fixing your hormones, improving your testosterone, optimizing yourself, and even some guys do actually get surgery for this. But if you have it and you're unable to fix it, I would say this is one of the biggest physique killers. You will have such a lack of confidence. It is pretty unfortunate, but this is just the brutal reality of the world, okay? Before we go ahead, I am not a Debbie Downer by any means. I'm just being realistic and showing you what is actually the truth. But it is never over. That's something I want you to understand, because if your feelings are getting hurt, if you're thinking, holy fuck, I've got a few of these things, it is never over. I had rib flare, I had this shitty posture, I had skinny wrists, but I was still able to craft myself an aesthetic, attractive physique and get the results I wanted in the real world. And it's for that reason that I created Project Undeniable, which is literally the solution to go from rock bottom and have an ultimate glow up and transform your life. If you're interested, it's going to teach you how to build an attractive physique from even shit rock bottom genetics, just like I did. And it's also going to teach you how to actually get the results you want socially and in the dating world. But moving on to the next thing, which looks like it's going to be a hairy physique, okay? Now, honestly, this is an easy fix, okay? You can just shave this off, but for guys that have super hairy backs and super hairy chests, it's going to look pretty fucking unaesthetic. And if you have like werewolf European genetics, like some guys I know, they will literally grow hair on their fucking ass. They'll literally grow hair on their back. They'll grow hair everywhere. And it takes like 2 days, okay? So you're going to have to shave a lot if you want to look aesthetic, but it's honestly not that bad of a cosmetic flaw. It's just going to look fucking weird and ugly if you keep it all the time, because honestly, if you look at all the aesthetic guys, the attractive guys, models, TV show actors, they all kind of are pretty clean shaven on the body. They probably don't have too much excess body hair. If you have this, I recommend investing in a good fucking shaver, bro. Next, we have small calves. Now, I am exactly a victim of this as well. I've fucking a lot of the shit genetic things on here, right? I'm going to say this is the coping required category, okay? I am the biggest coper with my calves. Yes, people are going to say you can train calves. I have fucking tried, bro. It simply doesn't work. I don't know about you, but if you're a guy right now who's watching and you have skinny calves, let me know if you found a fucking calf training solution that actually helps them grow. But I've not noticed significant calf gains at all in all my years of training. So that's why I'm putting it in cope required. The great thing is, in this modern day and age, in the human life, we have access to long pants. Summertime, long pants, wintertime, long pants, it doesn't fucking matter. So you can cope your way through this, but it is going to throw out your physique a fair bit in summer if you're forced to wear shorts, because let's be honest, it gets to a point where your balls get too sweaty and you kind of do have to fucking put some shorts on. So the solution to this is either wear some tight as fuck shorts or just train legs, train your quads, get bigger thighs, and you can offset that appearance of small calves just like how you can offset skinny wrists and skinny ankles by getting bigger muscles around them. Next, we have sunken chest syndrome, or what is scientifically called pectus excavatum. It's over, bro. This is fucking over. This is going to be a permanent detriment to your physique. I kind of have this myself, but it's asymmetrical. I have rib flare with a little bit of pectus excavatum. The normal case is when it's sunken out in the middle, but I have it kind of on one side, on my left side. So I have rib flare and it fucking sinks in. This has absolutely cooked my physique on the side profile, and the only way you can fix this is by gaining more muscle mass. But if you're a skinny guy right now, and if you haven't actually trained for long, this is going to be so noticeable. You can see in the picture here, bro, it looks like there's a fucking gravity, a black hole in this guy's chest, like sucking it out. It's gonna look so weird. It's gonna fuck up your aesthetics. It's gonna make you look super stupid. However, you can get away with it if you build a big chest. That's the only solution. Build muscle around it. Again, a lot of the solutions to these problems is just going to be building muscle, building mass, getting aesthetic, and doing what you can. Again, I'm never going to say that it is truly over and you can never look better. You can. But if you have these things, unfortunately, you're probably not going to be the most aesthetic person around. But again, knowing the conditions, it's 2026. Most guys are fat, ugly, and fucking watch porn all day. So you can easily get ahead of them. You can easily build a good physique, even if you have these shit genetics. Finally, we are going on to beer belly. If you have this, this is fucking brutal, okay? I don't know what it is, but guys that drink a lot of beer, they have this massive ass bloated belly, and it's so distended, it kind of looks like they're about to give birth. And for some reason, even guys that lose weight after having this belly, they still have this massive fucking bloat. It is literally like a rock hard belly, which you can't really get rid of. It's going to take a lot of time, and if you have this, if you present with this, it is pretty brutal, okay? Yes, you can do what you can to fix it, but it's going to throw off your physique for a long time, and it's going to take a lot to fix it. You would just simply be unaesthetic, unattractive. No girl wants a guy who has a big ass beer belly. They want the V-taper, the lean, aesthetic, beach bod physique. Like it or not, that is the best physique you can build. So there we have it, boys. That is the tier list on the worst physique features that you could have. Like I said, you can actually negate the negative side effects of having these by building muscle, by optimizing yourself for the attractive physique. What type of physique? It's the female gaze physique, the one that women find attractive, okay? And again, if you want to know how to build that, that is exactly what I teach inside a project, Undeniable, as well as heaps of other things to improve your life as a young man and fix the way you're presenting yourself so you can become more attractive, more confident, and more masculine. With that being said, I hope this has not hurt your feelings too much. Remember that progress is purpose. You can fix all this shit if you really want to. With that, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.